Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my TNA Impact Wrestling review for tonight, Thursday, December the 6th, 2012. Of course, the final impact before final resolution is Sunday. Alright, my overall thoughts on tonight's impact, it was okay. We had a decent main event, another okay matchup, plus 3 matches made for final resolution. And a sudden knockout that I hinted had we signed with the company made a return tonight. And also, Aces and Eights, after having an off week last week, were on the prowl yet again tonight. Plus, we saw a cryptic video about something happening on 1/3/13, the first impact of the year. And I'll discuss all that in a few moments. But right now, let's kick it off with our first segment of the Impact tonight, which kicked off with Bobby Roode coming out to ringside with Kaz and Daniels. Of course, those 3 men were preparing for their 6-man tag main event as they would team up against the TNA World Champ Jeff Hardy, James Storm, and AJ Styles. Of course, Daniels and Roode will be taking on Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles respectfully this Sunday. Storm's just in there because he wants to get his hands on Roode. And Kaz and Daniels too, because they're douchebags. Anyway, of course, team bad influence. Anyway, though, in the ring, those 3, Kaz, Daniels, and Roode, talking about referring to this as Throwback Thursday, about these 3 men being in the ring, former members of the Team Fortune. What do you want to do it? And they called themselves the most dominant half of that group. And basically, they laid down some guarantees. Daniels and Roode did about Roode saying, I'm guaranteed I'm going to beat Hardy, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be new world champion again because it pays to be Roode. And indeed, paid is the key word, as we would see later on in the evening. Paid. Money. We'll find that out shortly. But then Kaz had his partner Daniels. Of course, Daniels talking about how AJ is a loser. Indeed, AJ would be a loser this Sunday in their match at Final Resolution. And Daniels wanted to say AJ's a loser to his face, so he called out AJ to indeed blab about losing, everything, the Claire Lynch shit. Of course, AJ not getting another title shot for another year after getting pinned by James Storm at the last pay-per-view, Genesis. And Daniels kept on talking, blah, 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 blah. And AJ basically said, the time for talking is over. You talk too much. Bam! Punches Daniels. It started going all over Daniels until Kaz and Roode helped Daniels triple team AJ until AJ's tag partners for his main event match tonight, James Storm and Hardy came out for the rescue as Kaz and Daniels and Roode all ran out of the ring. Indeed, these 6 men would indeed get it on in our main event this evening. We'll see what would happen when Kaz and Daniels and Roode will be teaming up against Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy. Now, before we get to our first match, as I mentioned, there was a cryptic video that aired after this segment talking about something happening on 1/3/13. 13/13. The first impact of the year 2013. About something happening, about some sort of thing, some revolution shit or whatever they're talking about. And I don't know what will happen, whether it's Ace and H finally unmasking their president to see if it's Jeff Jarrett or not, or a new group coming, but we'll see what will indeed be happening on 1/3/13. Maybe there'll be another promo that air next week that'll tell us more about this situation. But till then, indeed, we got something happening on 1/3/13. Or maybe it's a video about Sting's comeback. Who knows? That's what I've read on several sources that they're saying that it may be a video about Sting's return from his injury from Ace and Ace. While we find out what happens on 1/3/13, first impact of the year, speaking of Ace and Eights, one of the members, Devon, would have an opportunity to regain the television championship, a title he did not lose. Of course, he had the title till he left TNA, and came back as a member of Ace and Eights. He wanted the match last week, and he got it this week. And that's why we didn't see Ace and Eights attack last week. But indeed this week, they would be attacking in full force, as we would see, as Devon would be taking on Samoa Joe for the television championship. Now, Samoa Joe, like every other member of TNA, was hot and heavy, attacking Devon from the early going. Fired up about Ace and Eights and their recent attacks on the TNA locker room. But Devon got the advantage later on, as he tried to fight back. And Joe had the advantage too in the late going. His okay opening matchup, as Joe looked like he was going to get the victory after delivering his big move. He was ready to nail the Coquina clutch, his chokehold. But as we have seen in the past, when we have one Ace and Eight member in the ring, you can expect the other Aces and Eights members to be not so far away from the action, as we would see. As Joe was ready to nail Devon's coffin and retain his title, a chick came out to the ring to distract the referee. While that was going on, Doc came from behind, attacked Joe with the hammer. Devon got the pin. 1, 2, 3, with a little help from some hot girls at Ace and Eights, paid off, and help from Doc, aka Festus, aka Luke Gallows. Devon regains the TNA Television Championship over Samoa Joe with a little help, like I said, from his friends. And first title for the Ace and Eights members. And of course, Ace and Eights would indeed be on the prowl yet again tonight, as we would see throughout the evening. So there you go. Devon defeats Samoa Joe for the television championship with a little help from his friends, Doc and some chicks. Speaking of chicks, knockouts. With our next segment involved a knockout. Mickie James, of course, the #1 contender for Taylor this Sunday in the Knockouts Championship. Mickie James has been gone for a little while. She came out to basically thank the fans for their never-ending support while she's been gone, and glad she's back in the ring. And indeed, she's ready for this Sunday to take the Knockouts Championship from Tara, who at that moment would interrupt Mickie James with her boyfriend in tow, Jesse, talking about the sob story about Mickie James as they were talking it out. Here comes a knockout I mentioned last week on Impact that she re-signed with the company and she was going to come back soon. I thought she was going to come back in January, but indeed Brooke was on the phone with her about the contract and all. And indeed, that knockout, who is back and came back tonight, is Velvet Sky. Glad to see her back in the Impact Zone and hopefully to dominate the scene again. Yes, some would say TNA, the minor leagues, and some would have wanted Velvet to be in WWE, but I'm kind of glad she isn't, because I don't think she would cut in WWE, because WWE doesn't care about wrestling divas. They just care about pretty divas who can't wrestle for shit. As I mentioned before, knockouts have better wrestlers. Anyway, Velvet came out saying that she's fully back in the TNA Impact Zone and back on the TNA roster. Whoever is the TNA Knockouts champion after Sunday, either Tara or Mickie, to watch out, as Velvet Sky will be gunning once again for the TNA Knockouts Championship. She, of course, was the champion, and now Velvet's back and wants the title back, and calls 2013 the year of Velvet Sky. So glad to see Velvet back. We'll see what kind of impact Velvet makes when she gets back in that ring. But until then, we got Tara and Mickie this Sunday for the Knockouts Championship. But indeed, Velvet Sky will indeed have a close eye on those proceedings. Now, on to our next match, which involved the tag team champions, Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero. Of course, those two would be defending their tag team championships this Sunday against Joey Ryan and Matt Morgan. A match I thought was going to happen because these four guys have had altercations in the past. And indeed, I mentioned about Joey Ryan, a big douchebag that I hate, that relies on muscle, like Matt Morgan. Speaking of douchebags in TNA that I hate that rely on muscle, Robbie E was teaming up with his big bodyguard Robbie T against Chavo and Hernandez. Of course, like I said, Joey Ryan and Robbie E depend on big muscle. Joey Ryan, Matt Morgan, Robbie E, Robbie T. Anyway, I thought it would be an easy win for Chavo Hernandez, but actually they had a fight to get this win over Robbie E&T. As indeed, Chavo Hernandez had the early going, but actually Robbie E&T, despite my hatred for him, especially Robbie E, they actually had some quick tags and decent double team moves, and it looked like they were going to get the victory. But the douchebags did not get the win. Hernandez got the hot tag following Robbie T's attack mostly in the match on Chavo, and Hernandez got the hot tag coming in like a house of fire, delivering a big move to Robbie T, nailing him out of the ring as Robbie E was laid out, ready for the frog splash by Chavo, who was tagged in a 1-2-3 victory for Chavo Hernandez, giving him momentum for the title match this Sunday against Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan, who, speaking of which, came out after the match saying 3 more days until we beat you for the tag titles. We'll see what happens in that match with Joey Ryan teaming with Matt Morgan against Chavo Hernandez, and I hope Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan loses, as like I said, they're douchebags. Well, specifically, Joey Ryan. But anyway, there you go. Chavo Hernandez beats Robbie T, defend the titles against Joey Ryan and Matt Morgan Sunday at Final Resolution. Speaking of Final Resolution, we had another match added for it in the aftermath of the next match, which involved Ace and Eight's member Doc, a.k.a. Festus, a.k.a. Luke Gallows. I always mess up on that sometimes. Speaking of mess up, TNA messed up a lot tonight. Count all the mess ups. They messed up on videos, messed up on camera cues, they messed up a lot. They flubbed a lot tonight. Technical difficulties on Impact tonight. Some of them at one Impact, they were like technical difficulties for like 20 minutes. I hated that one night. Anyway, on to our next match, which involved, like I said, Kurt Angle taking on Doc, who indeed helped Devon to win the television title tonight. And of course, we will find out later on that Ace and H will paid off to attack somebody. Where we find out who that person the attack would be and who indeed would indeed pay them off. But till then, Angle came in like a house of fire on Doc, of course motivated to avenge all the attacks on all the members of the TNA roster, especially Sting. You think 113 is about Sting? We'll soon find out. But anyway, Angle came in motivated and had the early advantage, but indeed Doc beat the crap out of Angle in the later half of the match. It was an okay matchup. It was actually a pretty decent matchup, pretty somewhat exciting, kind of back and forth mid towards the end as near fall after near fall. Angle tried to nail the Angle lock numerous times, but Doc would always find a way to get out of it. Basically, German suplexes a lot from Angle, but in the end, Angle was indeed ready for the win following the Angle slam. But like I mentioned during the Devon Samoa Joe match, when one Ace and Eight's member in the ring, you can expect that the other members of Ace and Eight's aren't going to be too far away. And indeed, that happened again in this match. Angle was ready for the victory following the Angle slam. And here comes Devon and the rest of Ace and Eight's, causing a disqualification victory on Angle, quadruple teaming him. As the 4 members of Ace and Eight's were teaming on Angle, here comes Angle's rescue. Garrett Bischoff, Russ Briscoe, who claimed to have his back and indeed had it, along with Samoa Joe, wanting payback for what happened to him early in the evening, losing the television championship against Devon with a little help from Doc. As they cleared the ring of Ace and Eight's, Angle challenged Ace and Eight's to an 8-man tag and they accepted. So another match, like I said, in the aftermath of this match, added for Final Resolution involves Kurt Angle teaming up with Russ Briscoe, Garrett Bischoff, and Samoa Joe against Doc. Well, basically 4 random members of Ace and Eight's, predicting Doc, Devon, and 2 other masked members. So there you go. Angle wins disqualification, gets an 8-man tag against Ace and Eight's Sunday with Briscoe, Bischoff, Garrett Bischoff, and Samoa Joe. Now, on to our next match, which was a number 1 contenders match for another match at Final Resolution being made for the X Division Championship. Now, last week, during Championship Thursday, the X Division Championship was defended by RVD against Austin Aries, who was chosen by Hulk Hogan out of 4 men, basically because he wanted Austin Aries to get his butt whipped. The other 3 men that Hogan said no to get a shot against RVD last week had a chance to get a shot against RVD this Sunday in a number 1 contenders match as Kenny King took on Zeba Iron and Kid Cash. If you can name anything on Impact decent or good, this is actually probably my favorite match in the Impact tonight. Very high-paced action in the X Division. I love the X Division. And I wish the X Division had more airtime. And I wish X Division had better guys again, like Sanjay Dutt, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal back in what they like to call the old Attitude Era of TNA, when TNA was actually pretty good. And they were pretty good again, but still, they need some more people back. I wish they would hire back Jay Lethal and hire back Mercy Machine Gun and give some fire back to the X Division to where it once was a few years ago. But anyway, these three guys are doing okay for the X Division. These X Division guys gave it all they got with some decent spots, spot fest, big high-flying moves. But all three men wanted to prove something as they would fight for an opportunity for a title shot this Sunday. But in the end, despite great moves from all three men getting some holy shit chants, and this is awesome chant by TNA fans. I wish there was a TNA chant, but anyway, Kenny King got the victory after a vicious move on Zeba Iron in the 1-2-3 victory for Mr. King, who was denied first by Hogan for being too new. Indeed, made an impact tonight. Indeed, he'll be facing off against RVD this Sunday for the X Division Championship at Final Resolution. So congrats to Kenny, good luck. And I think despite Kenny being young and new and having a shot, it's a good shot, but I don't think Kenny King's going to win this Sunday. I think maybe he'll lose, then get it eventually. But he'll probably lose this Sunday against RVD. Probably that should be a great matchup. So there you go. Like I said, 3 matches made tonight. An 8-man tag. A match involving the X Division Championship with Kenny King taking on RVD. And of course, another match made tonight, which was our next segment, which involved Austin Aries and Bully Ray. Now, these two have had their problems the last couple of weeks, with Austin Aries stirring the pot, accusing Bully Ray of having a relationship with Brooke Hogan. Of course, as we all know what happened last week, Austin Aries smack-talked Brooke Hogan during his match against RVD during Championship Thursday for the X Division Championship. Bully Ray interfered, causing Austin Aries to lose the match and lose an opportunity to regain the X Division Championship. Austin wanted Bully Ray. Bully Ray wanted Austin, but Hogan wasn't relenting and didn't want the match because both guys had been aggravating him, especially Aries stirring the pot and Bully Ray with Brooke Hogan making things way too personal, as we would see Bully Ray and Austin Aries having the same intentions. Both came out with chairs in hand, ready to have a sit-in until Hulk Hogan gave them what they both want and the fans want, a match against each other this Sunday. As they were having a little sit-in, Hogan came out and wouldn't budge at first, saying no yet again to the match and telling Bully Ray to leave the ring. And barely Bully Ray was going to fight Hogan at that moment. They were staring eye to eye, nose to nose again, as Austin Aries was watching outside with bemused amusement and laughter till Brooke Hogan came out, broken up and telling Hulk Hogan, her dad, that he's taking things way too personal. But that was all it took to make Hulk Hogan relent and gave Austin Aries and Bully Ray their match for this Sunday at the pay-per-view. So there you go. Austin Aries, Bully Ray official, along with our 6-man tag involving Ace and Eights, and a match, of course, involving the X Division Championship, Kenny King against RVD. And speaking of matches at Final Resolution, on to our main event, a 6-man tag in itself, actually 8-man tag at Final Resolution. I'm sorry, I'm messing up as bad as TNA did tonight. The little flubs tonight, 8-man tag official, not 6-man tag. But 6-man tag was our main event tonight, which involved 4 men involved in matches at Final Resolution, as the TNA World Champ Jeff Hardy would team up with AJ Styles and James Storm against Hardy and AJ's opponents at the TNA pay-per-view, Bobby Roode and Daniels, and also Kazarian. Both Daniels and Kazarian claimed it was Throwback Thursday, where they're both wearing fanny packs and zebra pants. Thinking like it's the 80s, like a throwback to the 80s or something. Anyway, of course, all 6 men, it was a decent main event tonight. It broke down midway towards the matchup. Of course, the Good Time team was dominating in the early going with AJ and Hardy and Storm Haley having good teamwork, but that broke down pretty quickly, as did the match, as Hardy was basically beat the crap out of by Bobby Roode for the majority of the match. Of course, giving a little preview for their one-on-one encounter this Sunday for the title. And as Roode was beating the crap out of Hardy, Hardy made a comeback and indeed made the hot tag to James Storm. And Storm dominated most of the match. They, of course, hot tagged to AJ. And AJ and D was on fire as well. Dominate all over Daniels. And of course, all 6 men were in the ring, beating the crap out of each other. As all hell was breaking loose, AJ dodged a splash. And D got a flip over reverse DDT on Rude. Because of Kaz as well. And Daniels got back in to attack AJ, but Storm came in to save AJ, apparently, and take Daniels outside the ring. But AJ had things were in hand before Storm got involved. Now Storm and AJ got into an argument yet again like they did last week. Hardy blind tagged himself in on AJ. Got the twist of fate on Kaz and a 1-2-3 victory for Jeff Hardy and his team, despite the argument. But as Hardy was celebrating, he wasn't going to be celebrating for long, as he was attacked immediately by members of Aces and Eights, beating the crap out of Hardy. And like I mentioned early on, Aces and Eights apparently had a person paying him off to attack someone instead of using the dartboard tonight. Well, indeed, as we would find out, the person they attacked was Jeff Hardy, and the man that paid Aces and Eights off to attack Hardy was indeed Bobby Roode, who looked on with amusement and, of course, happiness and clapping as Aces and Eights weakened Hardy and attacked him, weakening him for Woode's match this Sunday against Hardy for the title. So indeed, Hardy's team gets the victory, but indeed Aces and Eights and Wood has the last laugh as Aces and Eights attack Hardy, being paid off by Wood, and that's, like I said early on, paid money, the key word. And it pays to be Wood, as Wood paid off Aces and Eights to attack Hardy. Like I said, decent impact. 3 matches made for final resolution. Velvet Sky returns. Aces and Eights on the prowl, taking the television championship and attacking Jeff Hardy with money from Wood. Wood's always been the money man. And indeed, he paid off again tonight. That is it for my Impact review for the night. See you all later. And thank you all very much for watching. And with that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. Have a good weekend. See you later. Yeah.